And we are back for more combat with my favorite tank in the game. What a map. It's got something for everyone. If you like fighting on foot, you can do that. You like killing at a tank? Oh, believe me, you can do a lot of that. If you like flying in a plane, you can do that too. It just comes down to modding the map to let you get to the enemy base and steal the vehicles, assuming you want an enemy vehicle. It's not often. Most of the time, I'm happy with the team's vehicles that we get. But not in this mod. Not in this mod. The Allies have some really bad tanks. The Sherman, for example, I'm not going to be caught dead driving that. I will be caught dead driving a Panther Ausf G, though. I will definitely be caught dead driving this. Actually, this is a nice area. Because the Axis team's tanks, if they want to get a shot at you, they have to come over the hill. They can't just poke their guns up for a second and run away. The terrain's too open. Actually, I think I just got hit by something. I think that was a Martyr 1. Unfortunately, that little thing just keeps running. I can't even get a good shot at him. After the second shot nearly kills my repairman, I think, wait a second. Yep, there he is, all the way out there. I don't even know how that shot bounced. That was to his frontal armor, yes, but the Martyr 1 wasn't a heavily armored tank destroyer at all. Neither was the Martyr 2. Yep, there we go. Second shot got him anyway. Wah wah! This is another thing you have to be careful of. This is why you should have teammates around you, capturing the bases. If teammates should keep covering church, I would not have died in my Panther tank. But don't worry, that doesn't happen for a little while longer. Give it time. Give it time. Reversing seems like it's a nice area. I was going to go after that flak 88, actually. I was going to flank around to the right. Seems like everything's going okay until pull down this road. Just swinging my guns around to hit the Panther that just spawned. Before I can even pull the trigger, I die. And of course, I curse out the AI for being such camping douchebags on the Pack 40. And then my teammates need to go stop sucking each other off and help me capture bases, all that good stuff. You know, the usual rage quit. We actually wouldn't really call that a rage quit. Now I want revenge. I don't know how this machine gunner didn't kill me. I'm actually not very good at the M1 carbine. I still have a lot to learn. But I get him in the head, so we're all good. The hard part here just involves keeping this area clear of German soldiers, because even if you shoot one out of the turret, as you'll see here, even if I blow him out of the turret, which I did, I can't get in the tank. I'm slamming the E button down on my keyboard like a maniac, and it's just not letting me get inside my tank. So that kind of sucks. I'm later forced to just blow the thing up. I dropped 3 or 4 satchel charges underneath it. But that part's boring. There really isn't anything too awesome about it. So I'll just walk around, patrol the area, make sure no one else gets in it, because it's even harder to satchel the tank once it gets moving. When it's stationary, nobody's inside. Yeah. Not only is it easy to slash at it with your combat knife, it's also easier to satchel. Ah, there we go, here they come. If you have a good trigger finger, the carbine does kill pretty fast, but it's simply outclassed by later guns. If you aim high, it's alright, but FG42 will do everything the carbine does, except better. And it has a bigger round. Not bigger round. Yeah, bigger round and a bigger clip. Carbine's still good, though. Carbine's still very good. I enjoy it. Now, I do have a spare satchel charge left over from blowing up the Panther, so why not blow up the turret that killed me last time? If only you could remote detonate these. If only. Satchel charge technology wasn't really advanced back in that time. I mean, they didn't have remote activated explosives. It was more or less you started a chemical reaction and then a big kaboom happened. Still patrolling the base. I don't know why that guy didn't kill me. He could have easily dropped more and started shooting, but I'm not going to complain about the AI's frailties. If anything, I'm going to enjoy using them against them. There we go. We got the machine gunner. It's rare to me. The idle sway in this game, it's very slight when you're aiming down the sight, but it's obvious. This is why I like using vehicles, because the Panther, if you're on flat ground, it doesn't have any idle sway, whether you're moving or not. The second you start hitting bumps, that's when your aim starts going, bouncing along with the bumps, but it's not bad. I don't know how that didn't blow up that vehicle. That was a good shot on the side. It's kind of weird how the AP shells work. If you hit the vehicle in the wheels, like this handlebar, it'll die in one hit, guaranteed. But if I hit him in the side, it'll just damage it. Probably because it just goes right through. It has too good penetration. There we go. He died anyway. Actually, that instance when the guy got on the flak reeling, I've never seen the Axis team do that before. Oh well, they can't do that anymore anyway. Blow up their flak gun. And you'd think with this much pressure being put on the Heapcravan airfield, you would think that the Allies would be able to capture it. But instead, my rewards are getting Panther Ausf and wasting a couple of tank shells and infantry. That's I guess my reward for doing something good for the team. Not to mention Spawn killing the Fok Wolves. Just goes to show, kiddies, no good deed ever goes unpunished. At least in Battlefield. See what I mean with the machine gun sights? It's so much easier to just shoot around them. Or switch to the machine gun turret. It's a lot easier to do that. I don't use a coaxial machine gun that often. Simply because it's hard to aim. And if I'm already shooting at an enemy tank, of course tanks will take priority. I remember the Pak-40. I also remember the Flak 88. These guns, they do have decently long respawn times, but it's easy to forget it when you're going around and killing other tanks. Time flies in this game when you're off taking names and blowing up tanks and pissing off AIs. It really does. I mean, this round I think was like 40 to 50 minutes. It was a pretty big round. I only died once, which is a miracle. And then I'm surprised, even bigger miracle is how these poor idiots didn't get mowed down. For one, they're all exposing their rear side armor to the enemy, and most of them are just stuck. Stupid. Thankfully, though, they have good players like me to compensate, so it's all good. From time to time, you'll see Axis guys try and go up the hill and up this road to attack the train station. Obviously, you don't want them to be getting access to more Panther tanks than they should. So it makes sense to go and stop them here. It's also weird how they don't tap into their air support. Believe me, if they were diligent about getting into those Fok Wolves, I would have been long dead by now, or at least on the run. Because the Allies don't take bases very well by themselves. They have to rely on a superior human player to do most of the work. You know, I'm not surprised by that. I like the challenge, but you just wonder, I mean, something's got to give. So I'm cutting ahead here, obviously, because nothing really happened. I was just patrolling the base. So that happens a lot in Operation Go, but the map is almost too big for its own good, and nothing against that. It's just that there are a lot of bases and a lot of enemies. They're not all concentrated in one area. And I'm surprised that Pak-40 did not kill me. He got me on the underside of my armor. Thank you, Forgotten Hope 2, for not killing me there. Fail. I just bounced off the front. And then I have my repairman fix me. That was nice. Always good to have guys who are engineers in your squad if you're going to be in a tank. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Another thing that's a no-brainer is keeping your front armor facing your enemy. That idiot in the Panther there learned it the hard way. Cutting ahead again. Remember what I told you about this area. It's very, very, very easy to get the drop on the enemies because they have to come out of cover and over the hill to see you. Watch closely. See that stuck? He just comes over the hill. He has to adjust his aim. Baboosh! Into the lower front armor. The shell goes, killing the driver and his crew instantly. What a beautiful sight. That is why, if you're in the Panther tank, you must be especially conscious of your environment and how you can use it against your enemies, but also how they can use it against you. I don't like to go much further than this point here, because there's usually a Flak 88 or a Pak-40 just waiting to rip my virgin butthole to pieces. So I'll just fall back and run around. And that's usually what you do. Because on the Panther, as much fun and as good as it is to be aggressive, you do have to play defensively to a point. I mean, you can't be like a Tiger 1 or a Tiger 2 and just charge out there like a maniac, although that is pretty fun. With the Panther, you just don't have enough armor to do that. With the frontal armor, you could do it, but that also assumes the enemies will be only shooting at your front and you'll only be encountering enemies at or below your level. Of course, that never happens. This game challenges you, so I enjoy that. Also, watch the upper left kill feed. This douchebag camping on a Pak-40, H. Rosa, he just keeps raping tanks to come across. He gets like 14 kills on that Pak-40. Keep watching. You'll see the kill feed light up with that stupid Pak-40. That's a given in these rounds. There's a lot of camping by the AI. I wouldn't be surprised if they camped more than human players. And I can't believe I just said that, but see, look at that. Was that a Martyr 1? Yeah, that was a Martyr 1. Those things are really nasty because they get the PZG-40 round. That'll go through a King Tiger. That can kill a King Tiger in one hit to the side at close range, or 2 shots to the side at any range, which is pretty good for this cute little tank destroyer. You can expect that thing to kill like it does. It's scary. That's why I terminate those with extreme prejudice, because for one, their side armor is terrible. You could pop them in one hit, even one hit to the front under certain conditions. So, and they can do as much damage, if not more, than a fellow Panther or a Tiger tank. Conversely, there are things that can't do any damage to, like those stupid Kubel wagons that keep rushing out of cover, demanding to charge into the open. Here's another Martyr 1. Beautiful. See, one hit's all you need. But they're nasty. I mean, do not underestimate those little things. They're really, really powerful. Just that when you're using one, you don't have much room for error, and your flanks aren't protected. Specifically your rear. Someone gets behind you, all it takes is just a couple machine gun bursts, and you and your crew are dead. Oh well. Cutting ahead here once again, I think. Oh no, I think I did. Sorry, I didn't see the troops recognition. At this point, you may realize the Axis team is rapidly losing reinforcements. That's a good thing. You don't really have too many bases left to spawn at, which means all you have to do is just make your rounds on one base, pop some shots, get some kills, and run away. Because if you stick around, they will eventually get Panther Ausf on you, and this thing actually dies very quickly to Panther Ausf. The most I've taken was 2. One to the front armor that bounced, and one to somewhere on the front. It wasn't the side, it was the lower front, and that almost killed me. So, don't expect to take too many hits to your sides in this tank. Obviously, its side armor was notoriously thin, and rightfully so. I mean, you're not expecting to hit from the sides. And German armor doctrine put a special emphasis on flank protection, so that wouldn't happen. Of course, there's also the top armor, which is extremely thin on these tanks. Not just the Axis tanks, even the Allied tanks. It's got that same problem. So, when in doubt, just grab a plane and drop some bombs on your enemies. It's a great way to not only get a nice therapeutic action there, you can cackle like a maniac as you drop your tonnage onto an unsuspecting enemy in a tank. I mean, that can even kill a King Tiger. I've died in one hit from FW-190 bombs. It's not fun, but, you know, every weapon should have its counters. It should be balanced out, and I really like how Forgotten Hope 2 does that. Part 3 will be coming up.